Guys, welcome to another video. As you are all aware, maybe, possibly, maybe you're not, but the Le Mans 24 Hour is coming up in iRacing in the next few weeks, and I've looked around and there's no actual track guides or lap guides for the lower sort of split of iRacing kind of stuff. So I'm 1.5k on iRacing. Most lap guides I see are they're all 7k, they're all pros. And there's none out there that are really for the majority of people that are the lower sort of I-rating drivers in iRacing. And I think it's useful to see what other people are doing around your I-rating. So I've decided to make a little lap guide in the LMP2, as me and Full Throttle Motorsports will be racing in that next weekend in the LMP2. So yeah, I've just made a little lap guide. It's not by any means, I mean, I can do faster. It's not a blitzing lap or anything. It was I think my last lap of a full fuel stint. But yeah, I'll be talking through where I brake, what to do, and yeah, hope you enjoy. So sit back and relax and try and get faster at Le Mans, I guess. Alright, and here we go on our lap for around Le Mans here. You want to use up all the left curb here. There's no track limits there. You turn in really hard off the throttle there, and it's about as soon as you're straight, you get on the brake there. You can't brake too hard, around 50 or 60%. You keep the throttle around. You don't want to blitz it straight off the exit of the chicane there, otherwise you'll spin the wheels. And then you'll brake once again when you're straight, and you just let it roll through in third gear and then cut across that off that curb there. And just a little tap on the brakes here, shift down a gear if you're in fifth, and then just run it all the way to the edge of that curbing there. And then from here, you want to run it as wide here, so you can just put in that less bit of steering input into the car to maximize to minimize the drag per se. And then you're just keeping it flat down this straight, and you have the 300 go past, and then when the 200 goes past, that's when you brake a little bit after that. And trail braking into this corner is a big thing. Once you get past that second apex, you want to get back on the throttle, run it wide there, and then cut across that chicane. You also want to cut across you don't want to be in the middle of the track at Le Mans here, because the car will bottom out in the LMP2, and you'll lose tenths on the straight. So you want to be either on the left or the right, but because the next corner's the left chicane, then you want to go right here. I generally brake around when the 100 board gets to the windscreen wiper there, and then you, same thing as the other chicane, run it wide here and cut it across. Because these cars are going to have less downforce because it's Le Mans. I mean, they still have a lot of downforce because they're prototypes, but nonetheless, they still have less downforce than normal. Trail braking's big, so you can try and carry as much as you can. This one's coming up here is hard. You want to stay wide, and then just about as you turn in, you want to start braking. I go a little bit wide there, but yeah, as soon as you start braking, you want to you just go wide. As soon as you start turning, you brake. On that one, I find is the best. But yeah, once again, just make it nice and wide so you're minimizing how much you have to turn while brake. Same with this one. I kind of lift off around the change of color there, and then you slow on the brakes, lift off as you turn, and then you get the brakes up around 50% there. You can see on the screen there that I have my inputs. So the red is the braking. That should help as well to see how far you can go before you lock the brakes. And then the next section is going to be the Porsche curves, which in these is my favorite bit of the track, but it can be a little bit difficult to get right. You want to brake just about there on the change of color, and you just wait till the car rotates. You just want to drift it around, get back on throttle so you can send it round here without having to lift. Then a little lift here so you get the car rotated. Then brake down to fourth, and then once again you just got to wait for the car to rotate through here. You don't have to hit the apex there. It depends. It's more driving style, what suits you. But yeah, the big thing through the Porsche curves is just not trying to push the car too hard. Just wait for it to rotate. Now halfway through the pit lane entry line there, you want to brake. let the car roll through. Trail braking's a big thing in that chicane, and then you can cut over some of these, and then as soon as you get past that last chicane, you're back on the throttle. And yeah, that's a lap at Le Mans. I hope that was helpful. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, be sure to chuck them in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching, and good luck for anyone who is racing in Le Mans next weekend. I wish you the best, and I hope this helped. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.